There's been a movie that I've been on since it's been announced because of the big name that's plastered on the poster. It's him, produced by Jordan Peele. Now they're using Jordan Peele to really sell this movie because, I would say he's really good at horror movies. He's probably one of my favorite horror movie directors. I love all the movies that he makes, especially Nope. I say he's my favorite, but I think Nope's really good. I think it's really underrated, but that's like a term for another video. But him, I've been very excited for all past couple months. Has been announced, and yesterday I went to go watch it. I like some things, but I dislike more things. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the things that I do like and the things that I don't, and also the things that I think they could have been done better in the movie. Now, just to let you know, I'm going to be saying spoilers of this movie because I don't think I can get my point across without saying some key story details. All right, well, let's get started because this is going to be a short one. What already drew me into him was the whole football theme, because I am a big fan of American football, and I was really hooked because I thought the movie would tackle. You see what I did there? You see what I did? It's like football. These like concepts of football, like how it's an intense sport, very competitive, and how it could have a really damaging long-term effect on a lot of the players that play it if you're not careful, and even if you are careful. And the movie does tackle some of these things, but it doesn't do it a lot. What I want to do now is I want to talk about 3 scenes in particular that really stick out to me. I'm going to talk about 2 scenes that I think are really good, and one last scene, which is a mix of 2 scenes that is honestly my least favorite part of the movie. But let me give you a little bit of context. So Cameron, our main character, played by Tyreek Withers, is a little kid, and his dad really wants him to become a professional football player. His idol, someone who plays on the Saviors, is Isaiah Wade, played by Marlon Wayans. Let me say this right now. These guys put up some great performances. I love the performances. Really good. I think Tyreek Withers was really good, and I don't know if I've seen him in other stuff, but I need to see him in more because he's really good. When Cameron was little, he was watching a TV game with his dad. Isaiah White gets injured during the game. It's brutal, it's gross, his knee broke, but the dad turns the kid's head to look at the TV screen to learn that it takes guts to have glory, or No Pain, No Gain by Mark Wahlberg. I don't know, but it just shows that relationship that the dad has, that he really wanted his son to become a professional football player and kind of force that way along, just to show, which is a real thing. A lot of parents do put it out on their kid to become this professional thing that they wanted to do, but they didn't have the ability to do when they were younger. But then it goes into a little montage about how Cameron, our main character, becomes basically like what Bryce Underwood was out of high school and what Jadeveon Clowney was out of college, like a top prospect. And so he's gonna go to the combine, right? He has a really high draft stock. He's out there on the field and he's practicing his accuracy. He's throwing against a goalpost and he's hitting it, and then he goes to pick up a ball, and this is, I shit you not, one of the funniest scenes in the movie, where there's just some guy behind him that hits him on the head with a crowbar. It's hilarious, but it actually happens. Now look, this guy gets stitches on his head. The problem with this movie, as someone said while I was watching it with, said,
Get into it.
Explain yourself. What didn't you like about it?
It insists upon itself, Lois.
Which I think is true, actually, and the symbolism is not subtle at all. They throw in shit that's supposed to be symbolic, and it's not subtle. They didn't do it in a subtle way. They spoon feed it to you, and they do it several times. For example, later in the movie, they talk about all this kid basically being Jesus. They throw references to Jesus, the quarterback being Jesus. And then, towards the end of the movie, they throw in a scene where it's literally the Last Supper. It's literally the Last Supper, and I'm like, wow. It's stupid, because you could have left out all the Jesus references and stuff like that, and just left the Last Supper scene, because it looks good, and it would have spoken it enough, and it would have been more impactful for the moment. And do the same thing in this scene, because after he gets hit by the crowbar, he has stitches in his head. And guess what the stitches look like? It looks like a football on his head. Get it? Because all of his mind is just a football. All he thinks about is football.
Insists upon itself, Lois.
So it's combine day. This guy's brain is swelling. He's not going to perform. Everyone's stressing him out. He goes into the alleyway to go out to the combine, and he's sitting here. And this is the scene, one of the scenes that I really like. One side of the alley, at least to the outside, is bright. The other side is dark. And you hear something moving in the dark. And Cameron looks. There's something moving. There's something that's shiny in there. That's glistening. There's something. And then this big white guy comes out on all fours, his face painted, and just staring at him, breathing heavily. And he hands Cameron a marker to sign his head, and then he makes a goat noise. It's hilarious. But this is what I was talking about. I want to see these scenes with the crazy fans, because that's a real thing in the NFL. There's these fan bases that are insanely obsessed with their team, players, and that's what I wanted to see in this movie, that craziness that the NFL brought out and shown with these people. And I think they do that, especially with this other character later on, but I kind of want to see more of it. I think they should have done more with it. This is the combine, but Isaiah White, his idol, invites him out to a training for 7 days at this weird compound in the middle of nowhere. And he does it because obviously it's his idol, and he goes there, and Cameron's thrown into this world of this weirdness of being a quarterback with 10 Super Bowls championships and being the greatest of all time and crazy fans. I like this a lot. I think it does really well. This is the beginning of this movie. I think is very strong. It sets up a really good framework for the rest of the movie. Unfortunately, the rest of the movie doesn't follow it, and it kind of turned into slop in the later half. It feels like the movie was rewritten, reshot. The plot changed 3 times. It feels like the script feels off. But the beginning I did like a lot. Which I want to say another scene. So he's out there in the indoor training facility. He's training with Isaiah White. They brings in some free agents who have nothing to lose, who want to win, and who follow Isaiah White as like he's God. There is no subtlety. And so they do a training drill, which is I'm pretty sure it's a real football training drill, but they change it a little, which I like to show how insane Isaiah is. He puts in one of the guys in front of a football machine that shoots out footballs, and they crank it up all the way. Every time that Cameron misses a throws it too slow, the ball's pelted at this guy point blank in his face. And I like how it motivates him to do better, to everyone to lock in, to perform better, so this guy doesn't get hurt. And I like how he brings out that attitude and how the scene is very tense, because you don't want to see this guy get hit with a football. That hurts, you know? I like it. I like what the tension it builds, the suspense it builds, and what it says about the character. I think that's really good. I think they should do more scenes like that. There's like one other scene, but it's kind of stupid. He like jukes someone, then like headbutts him and like gives him CT, and they all like celebrate on his dead body. That's cool. I like that. I think there should be more of those scenes, but there isn't. And I guess if you do more scenes, it could get tired very quickly. But I really like those type of football scenes because it shows the competitiveness and the over intensity of some of these players. Now, what this movie has always been leading up to is to the ending, where throughout the movie he's been given treatments and stuff to make him better. But one of those treatments is getting the blood of Isaiah White into his body. They've been giving him the former quarterback's blood into his body, and it's supposed to make the training easier for him. And this leads to the last bit of the movie, which I think is the worst scene in my opinion, and I think is so stupid. So after going to a party with Julia Fox, shout out Julia Fox, the movie turns into slop. It turns into the thing where the whole thing that Hollywood and the NFL are evil and demon worshippers and eat babies. And I'm not saying they're not, but I'm saying after building such a good, like, kind of building blocks to make a story more than that, it's kind of just disappointing that all they did with it is just say that, like, Hollywood and the NFL executives eat babies and are demon worshippers. I don't think it's, like, wrong, but I'm just kind of disappointed. I wish they did something more than that. So after going to this party and getting drugged, that they're saying he'll be QB1, take the next step, he gets drugged. His health director has his head cut off by Julia Fox, and he wakes up in a bed of ice with more of Isaiah White's blood getting put into him. He finds Isaiah White in his weird bat cave of football players, and he explains to him that over the past years, the star players of the Saviors have been giving their blood to the next star player. It's supposed to be like a ritual where in the Native Americans, they would give their bloods, which were the blood of the gods, into someone else so they could get the power of the gods. Is this true? I don't know. Is it cool? I kind of think it is. I kind of think it's a cool little aspect that they brought into this movie, and I like it. I actually like this. I don't think this is stupid. What I think is stupid is that now they have to 1v1 each other and fight each other. I think that is stupid because, first of all, they do like a CGI shake while Isaiah White has to bang on his chest and say, "I'm him," and it looks stupid. The choreography sucks for the fight. This camera work sucks for the fight, and it's not enticing. It's not good on the eyes. It looks stupid, but whatever. Obviously, Cameron beats up Isaiah White. He goes out into the field because that's what the whole thing is that only one player could leave the tunnel and go out to the field for the fans. And obviously it's Cameron. So he goes out and they have the whole board of directors and his agent have a contract waiting for him to sign, and they're all wearing like pigskin mask and leather face mask of like footballs. Isaiah doesn't want to sign it. He picks up a hammer and like kills everyone and a sword. And honestly, I like this scene. If they didn't have that last scene and left this scene in, I think I'd rather prefer that because at least this was entertaining. Like, I'm not saying it's an amazing scene, but I was entertained and I was like, okay, well, the absurdity of it and the surrealness, you know, adds to something. He kills everyone. He drags someone into a pentagram. He walks away with the hammer on his back, blows up. Roll credits. Now, there's a lot more to this movie, and I think it's good enough for someone to watch, because I think you could watch it. I don't think it's so bad that, you know, don't go to the theaters to watch it. I like some aspects, as you could tell, but I really hate a lot more, and I don't talk about a lot of these things, because I think it's a lot to talk about, and I'd rather you go experience them yourself. I wish it just did more of like the scenes that I really liked, which I think are the most compelling scenes in the movie. On Letterboxd, I give it like a 3.5 out of 5. I think that's a little too generous. Maybe I'll change it in like a week, but you know, good enough. And plus, it was short, so no harm, no foul. So I wasn't there for too long. But yeah, that'll be it for me. If you like this content and you want to see more of it, let me know in the comments, or leave a like, or subscribe. Yeah, if you want to tell me your opinion of the movie, or you think I'm wrong, or what, please let me know down in the comments below. All right, have a good one.